What's up? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about Aileen, and we're going to go over the part of the story where she talks about the alleged, if you know, you know. So apparently her third baby daddy had allegedly almost unalived her this night. So we're just gonna go over it. She kind of talks about it. If you want to see my one leading up to this, where she said that she was cheated on before by him, 7 months pregnant, and that's kind of what caused this whole new argument to happen, because it's hard to let it go. Once you know that you're cheated on, it's hard to let it go. It will come up many times, trust me. So now we're gonna get into the video.
Barely 5 months postpartum, like not even 6 months. I'm 5 months postpartum. I just had a baby, and I'm so used to like bouncing back like that, but I'm older obviously, and he just made me so insecure with the way like that my body looks and all this. It makes me so emotional. Okay, we're not gonna do this. Okay, only God knows how insecure that man has made me, but it's okay. So he was just like out of nowhere, he's like, oh, like find a doctor para mandarte operar. And I was just, and by the way, this girl was operada because her husband has all of that to do that. He's the one that la mandó operar and all this stuff.
So if you're confused, her third baby daddy apparently had made some comments, I believe, on her body, being like, maybe get surgery. I don't know, she kind of said that part in Spanish, which I don't know Spanish, but it's like, I'm putting it together. So apparently, allegedly, the girl that he had cheated on her with has surgery, is what I'm gonna guess. And then he's like, oh, you should like get some surgery, like after like, you just had a child. That's one thing I will admit, like, just being with younger guys, like if you're with younger guys, like I haven't been with a younger guy, but I'm just gonna assume that if I'm like almost 30 and I'm with like a 19-year-old, 20-year-old, his mind is not mature at all, and he's gonna make comments like that. He doesn't understand, like, being a mother is gonna change you so much. They're gonna say comments like that are disrespectful. He's just like not a, like, just from everything that she said about him, he's not like a nice, mature man that's gonna make you comfortable in your own skin. Like dating younger, he's also probably gonna make comments. He's younger, he doesn't understand about aging. Like his turn will come, and like they just don't understand, because they're, you know what I mean? It's like you're in two different stages of your life, so he's not going to be focused on like, I just care about if my child's healthy, like, oh my gosh, you have stretch marks. He might point out your stretch marks, like just things like people that are 19, 20 are just not gonna understand, and obviously they're gonna make you insecure. That's why it's like dating younger is kind of setting yourself up for a lot of insecurities that could possibly come, just like how she said. I do feel bad that, like, he's making comments about her body, but it's like, he is a lot younger as well and not mature. Like this comes back with the, sis, we told you, dating younger, he's not mature in the brain.
So I was just like, why? Like, you want me to remind you of her and this and that? It triggered me. Like, it just triggered me. And then he was like, oh my God, here you go, bringing up the past and this and that. I was just like, why would you do that? Like, why would you mess with somebody like that? Like, do you not know that those people, if they find out, like, it's not gonna be okay? Like, you're putting everybody in danger because you're so like desperate, literally desperate. So that's
and this is just like another thing with the age thing. It's just the maturity. It's just his maturity is not there, and it's like, you can blame him and you cannot blame him at the same time, because it's like, oh, his age, like you look at the age and you're like, okay, like he's immature. Like this is not a guy that you should have had a kid with, and it's too late for that. So it's not like I'm going to like harpoon and like, come at her like, oh, you shouldn't. Too late. But it's just like, this is what people were saying, and people were concerned, the people that care about both of them. I'm sure his family felt the same way, like, oh, you shouldn't be having a kid with someone that's like already has kids, and like you know what I mean? It just, the whole situation is just so messed up, and I just feel bad for everybody involved in it, honestly. But that's what happened.
That's how it all started. And then I was like, you know what? Like, I don't want to be with you. Like, this is too much. Like, you've already done too much. Like, I don't want to be with you. Leave. I told him, get your stuff and leave. And obviously, he didn't leave. But we just started arguing, and then I ended up leaving. I was so upset. I remember I left, and I called his mom, and I told her everything. And I called my friend, and I was telling her, like, oh my God, like, I just found out who she was. Like, the whole time, you guys, like, I thought that he was being with, like, a girl his age, like a chamaquita, that doesn't have, like, kids, that doesn't have a whole family, like, nothing. Like, that's what I thought the whole entire time. But I get it. He is the type of guy that likes older girls. And he was just like, I don't like young girls like my age. Like, no, she's actually older than me. Like I said, she had her whole family, and I was just like, dude, are you serious? Like, what is your problem?
Is one thing about Aileen that, I like about her. She is a Libra. She's a Libra. Like, she's like, oh, you do me wrong and I'm out of here type of thing. So, that's good on her. But it's just like, it's scary, because like, once you do leave, it's like, this is what happens when you rush into something new so fast, like this is the result of that, because she has left many times. But I think it's like after the Flyboy, that's why I feel bad for her. It's like after the Flyboy, she spent so long with Flyboy, guys, like more than 10 years with Flyboy, right? And just after that, like, you had that idea of love and, like, this is my person forever, and then that gets ruined. Just like, and then you finally leave, and then just like the next one was not good either, and then the next one after that was not good either. It's just like, it's like a domino effect, and it's just like, it just came crashing down in such a short amount of time as well. So I do feel bad. Like, it's hard not to feel bad,
So I had left. I called my friend. I was telling her, like, girl, like, I just found out everything, because she knew everything. She was actually with me when I got the picture. And yeah, so then everything had calmed down. I went back home because he was blowing me up, like, where are you, where did you go, this and that, blah blah blah. And I was like ignoring his calls, ignoring everything. Like, I did not want to talk to him. I was so, like, I feel like I had just got broken all over again. And when I went back home, I finally went back home and I calmed down like an hour later, and I didn't talk to him. I remember he was trying to talk to me like if nothing had happened, and I was like, don't talk to me, like, get away from me, stop following me. Because I would go to the room to fold the clothes and he was right there. I would go to the living room, he would follow me to the living room, and I was just like, leave me alone, like, don't talk to me, like, I don't want to talk to you. Like, he would talk to me like normal, like if I was okay, like if nothing had just happened. Finally he left me alone. I was sitting on the couch on my phone and actually texting Michelle at the time. He was in the room, and I think he was drinking in the room. And after that, out of nowhere, I seen him change, because he was wearing like shorts and a shirt, and then he changed into like all black. I didn't think nothing of it. And he was wearing black sweatpants, a black sweatshirt.
So this is interesting to me when she said that, because this is almost like he's setting up for like premeditated. Like, why did you change to all black? You know what I mean? Like, that was like really sus to me when she said that. I was like, no way. Like, was this like a planned thing? Because like, to me, when I first found out that it happened, I thought like maybe it was just like not a planned thing, and that was just like, they're arguing, and then boom, he did that. But then she said he changed. Like, he was very quiet for like a whole hour and like changed into all black. So I don't know when the court, if he is a court for that trial, I don't know, but it could be like premeditated, because like, what do you mean you changed to all black? Like, that was crazy to me. I was like, what? Changed to all black is sus.
And Jordan said he was wearing a beanie, but I don't remember if he was wearing a beanie. I thought he had like his hoodie on. So then after that, he walks outside. That's how I saw that he changed. And I was like, oh, okay, like he's just gonna go smoke out there. Didn't think anything of it. He was out there for like about an hour, and the whole time I thought he was just smoking. He was out there like on his phone, like, just doing him. And when he came back in, you guys, I was still sitting on the couch, and he walks up to me without saying anything. Like, I was sitting on the couch, he stands right in front of me, and he doesn't say anything. And I got up, and like, I was like, get out of my face. Obviously I was screaming at him. I was like, get out of my face. I was like, leave me alone. I was like, that's it. Like, if you don't leave me alone, I'm gonna call the cops on you, this and that. So when I grabbed my phone that was on the side of me, like when I went to reach to grab my phone, that's when it happened. And the whole time he did have his hands in his pocket, but I didn't think anything of it. Like, I just thought he had his hands in his pocket. I would have never, ever, when I tell you guys, ever expected that from him. But they always say the quiet ones are the most, dangerous ones, and you have to be careful with them. And it is true. And so after that, I didn't feel it, you guys. I never saw like the knife. It just happened, everything so quick. How I knew was because I felt the warmness on the side of my body, and when I went like this and I saw the blood on my hand, and I was just like, I could feel it coming out. I was just like, like, did you just do that to me? That's literally what I told him. I looked him in his face and I was like, did you just me?
Honestly, listening to this, it's so hard not to feel bad for her, because just imagine, like, you're going through it thinking that, like, he cheated on you, and then you're so emotional over that, and then you end the night with just him doing that. Like, that's insane. Like, imagine a guy cheating on you, and then he also like tries to take you out of like life. Is actually like insane, and like no one deserves to go through that. Like, no one deserves to go through that, you know what I mean? Like, that's just not okay. Honestly, just everything that this girl's gone through, like, you know what I mean? Like, being cheated on, and then that, like, just like her whole everything, like, just whole life in general. It's just like she actually has to be like so strong mentally for this, because this is crazy. This story, insane.
And then it looked like, when I tell you guys, it looked like something came out of his body. Like, he went like this, and like his whole face changed, and he snapped out of it and was like, oh my god, like, I'm so sorry, like, I didn't mean to do that to you, like, I'm sorry, let's go to the hospital. And I was like, don't touch me. Like, I was screaming at him. I was like, don't touch me. I freaking jumped from the couch to like off the carpet, because I didn't want to get blood all over the carpet, me still thinking about the carpet. And then I was running back and forth, and I was like, okay, in my head I was like, okay, I need to calm down, because if I'm freaking out, screaming, running around like this, like, I'm going to lose more blood. So then I tried to calm myself down, and then Jordan ran out right after me, and I was like, Jordan, I was like, get inside. I was like, lock the door with your brothers. I was like, call the cops. Jordan has a phone, so that's what he did.
Too is honestly one of the sad parts hearing about this, is that this was in front of the kids. Like, the kids were there, and that's why it's so important to like really know who you bring around your kids, because like she said, like, it looked like I just didn't even like recognize him. Like, it looks like something like jumped out. You know what I mean? Like, you never know what someone's capable of, and just like, it was so sad that this happened in front of her kids, because this is gonna honestly affect them. Like, everything of her choices is gonna affect them, but like, this is something they're gonna remember probably for life. And like, Jordan is her kid, if you didn't know that. And like, you know, the fact that he had to call the cops, he's like, oh, my mom, like, you know, probably traumatized, like the kid's probably traumatized, and probably all the other siblings that are there. It's just like, this situation just is so sad for everybody involved. And like, hearing that the kids were there was like honestly one of the more sad parts. And again, a 19-year-old is not going to be thinking about like, no, like they don't, it's like he didn't care, like he doesn't care about no damn kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're just young, like they just care about themselves. They're not like, you know, they're not all there mentally, I'm telling you.
He had to take me to the hospital, and I got on the phone. I left my phone there on the couch. Like, my phone stayed there. I left with nothing, with just ran out like that. And then when I got his phone, we got in the car, and I called 911. I was like, I need an ambulance now, like, to meet us. I was like, I'm going to die. I was like, I am bleeding. I was soaking everything, guys. Like, my clothes was drenched in blood. His clothes was drenched in blood. And now I know how his clothes was drenched in blood. I was like, how? But Jordan told me afterwards, you guys, because everything happened so fast that I don't remember like bits and pieces afterwards. But he said that he carried me, like he ran with me to the car, and I don't remember that. I thought I ran myself to the car. And so I was dripping everywhere, and I was like, please, like, I need an ambulance, like I'm gonna die. At this point, like, my chest started hurting, and then they were like, put pressure. So he grabbed his hand while he was driving and like pushed pressure on me. And when he did that, I started throwing up the blood. Like, the blood started coming up out of my mouth. So I was like choking on my blood, and I freaking like moved him. I was like, no, do not touch me, don't push it, don't touch it, nothing. I couldn't talk to the dispatcher. She was like, where are you? I was telling her, but at this point he was driving like hella fast, like getting me there like quick. He got me there pretty quick. And when I got there, I couldn't find the emergency room. I was like, park right there with the ambulance. Where's this ambulance? So we parked right there. There was actually like the paramedics cleaning their ambulance, and I just got off the car, and he like got off quick, and he was like, help, help. And she was like, what's going on? What's going on? And I freaking just got off and like walked towards the door by myself. And then once I got there, the lady from the ambulance opened it. They rushed me into like the trauma room, and at this point I couldn't talk anymore, you guys. Like, I couldn't breathe. I was sighing to her. I was like, I can't breathe. Like, my chest was hurting. I was like gasping for air. And then I remember I was like, I can't breathe. And then she was like, okay, like calm down. And then they threw me on the bed. They cut off all my clothes. I don't know how, you guys, the x-ray, everything was in there so like quick, like within seconds. There was so many nurses and doctors in there, and they did like a chest x-ray quick as heck. They saw that my lung was collapsed. So they got like a little knife. Guys, I didn't have time to get like numb, nothing. They got a little knife. This is so traumatizing to even like, because I'm remembering it, and this was like more painful than the whole entire thing. Like, even in birth, you guys, like when I tell you guys, this was excruciating. I was screaming to the top of my freaking lungs. Like, right there, I had time to scream. I was like, ah! They cut me open, and then they like stretched my ribs, and then they put the tube in. Oh my god, I was like, are you almost done? He's like, yes. Like, calm down. Like, try not to like move. Like, calm down. I was like, it hurts so bad. It hurts. And then I was like, oh my god, stop. So they finally got it in. It was so painful for like 2 days. I couldn't lay a certain way. And then they like stitched. Did they stitch it? Yeah, they stitched it in there so it wouldn't move. They stapled like my cut. They were trying to see like if I had any more wounds. I was like, no, it was just right there. And then they finally got me stabilized. They moved me, and then that's when like detectives went to go talk to me. By the way, when I was...
This is also an important fact that it's just like, this is not just a story about her getting cheated on, or the fact that like, you know, he did that to her, but this is like a story in like how 6 children almost lost their mom. Like, 6 children had almost lost their mom, and some had almost experienced that. It's like a traumatizing moment for them. So like, it just affected so many people. So like, hearing this is not just like, oh my gosh, like she deserves that or whatever, or like, you know, even if you, however you feel about her, I know some people really don't like her, it's just like, this like 6 kids almost lost their mother, and like, we're in this traumatic accident all because of like everybody's decisions involved, you know.
By the way, when I was going through all of this, there was an officer in there trying to talk to me, trying to see who did it, and I was like, I still, you guys, tried to like lie for him in that moment. Like, I still try to say like, oh my gosh, like it was like a random person, I don't know who it was. And he was like, oh, we know everything, like your son told us everything, and he already told us. So they had already had him in custody, and I was just like, what? So he was like, just tell us the truth.
So hearing that is so crazy. Like, as women, like we try and protect our like so bad that even like he almost like ended her life, and she still is trying to like protect him and not trying to tell the detectives who it was, which is crazy. Like, it's so sad. And like, the fact that the detectives had to hear it from the child first, and the child's like, you know, children are usually honest, or like, you know, this is what happened. It's like crazy, because like, what if they didn't talk to the child and they're like, okay, it was some random person, and then what, are you gonna go home and like, what is he gonna come home with you and like the children, and like it's gonna be back to like, okay, pretend like everything, like this is like so crazy. Like, you know, we can't, like, I know she's in a high stress situation, like who knows what her mental was at the time, but that is just so sad to hear. And like, honestly, that's the reality of a lot of situations, that like people will do stuff to us or like do something to someone, and they'll still try and protect them and like be like, you know, try and forget about it and like try and go on with their life, and well, like still have him around the children.
They moved me into like the little recovery room. They had like an officer at my door the whole time, and that's when like I told them everything that happened, and they were like, well, everything you like told us practically matched what my son told them. And CPS did get involved. They didn't take the kids from me, but they did get involved, obviously, because the kids were present, like in the house. And yeah, just that's what happened. And now I already know how long they are giving him. I didn't press charges or do anything like that. I just left it all in the state's hands. I don't have anything to do with the case. I'm just in my own lane, just trying to move forward and learn and grow and change my life. And like I said, I already know how long he is getting. I just hope that he grows and he learns from his mistakes, and that he grows closer to God, and just that God gives him the strength and the patience that he needs to get through these years. And yeah, that he just changes his life when he learns, so he could be a better person. And yeah, that's all I could say. Obviously, it's something that wasn't easy. It was something very traumatizing, and it affected a lot of us. Yeah.
I don't know how long he's getting, but if you guys know or like know the court documents of like how many years he's getting, I'm not sure if he's getting years. Like, I don't know how long he's gonna be in there for. But the whole situation was so crazy, and you know, this just like reflects on a lot of, you know, domestic violence situations. And the thing is, these type of situations, like of girls, you know, like Aileen was lucky that, you know, she survived and everything, but this just shows like usually fatalities like this happen basically when the girl's trying to leave, you know, when, or like the victim, like it could be even a guy trying to leave. You know, I don't know if you guys know, but the Courtney Clenny situation, you know, that OF model that, like, you know, same thing with her man, like he was like, they were breaking up. It's always when you're breaking up, when they're breaking up in a lot of DV situations, like when you're breaking up is when usually a fatality happens. That's usually most cases, and people will be like, well, why didn't you leave, and it's like them getting unalived was them trying to leave. Like, that was not usually when it's like all good and like whatever, you're tolerating it, you're withstanding it. It's usually when you're trying to leave is when usually that happens. And then people will be like, oh, well, why didn't they leave? Oh my gosh, they should have left. That was them trying to leave. And let me tell you, they probably tried to leave many times before, and this was like a final straw, and they were really like almost at the door, like leaving type thing. And then that's when it happened. And people don't understand that. They'll be like, oh my gosh, they should have left. They have been trying to leave, babe. They've been trying to leave, and then like this was the time like that they were really trying to stand on business. And then that's when the person that's not mentally okay is just like loses their mind and like, oh my gosh, they're really leaving, I gotta take them out the game. So yeah, that was her story. If you want to go watch again the full story, go watch it on Eileen's channel, because, you know, obviously she has like the start to finish. We're just like dissecting parts here. And yeah, that was her story to tell. Obviously, we haven't heard his side of the things, but again, she ended up in the hospital because of this, and he ended up in jail. And, you know, he was the aggressor. Obviously, the court said he's the aggressor. He's not getting out. He's not getting out on bond. And the whole situation is just unfortunate because, again, the kids had to be there. And unfortunately, they almost lost their mom because of this. And one thing I do, you know, respect Aileen for is that, like, no matter what, she does put it all online. And, like, she has made a lot of mistakes in her life. Like, trust me, everybody knows she's made mistakes. But she does put them online. She's like, look, I messed up here, and look how crazy, and look at the consequences of, like, you know, my actions and decisions. And, like, you know, be careful of who you pick as who your partner is, because, like, it could end up like this or even worse. So, yeah, that's her story to tell. You already know, like, comment, subscribe, because like we always cover stuff like this. And like, you know how a few months back I said, oh my gosh, this is like a reality TV show where it's like things keep continuing to happen. I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, like, this is like a reality TV show that's just like never ending, like season 1, season 2. And never did I ever think when I said that like it would turn into this, because I'm also like, I don't even know what will be next. And like, who would have thought like this would be next? Like, I don't even know what's coming after this, because it's like always something with this family. Like, I'm telling you, like, always something with this family. Like, it's just like never ending. Like, it just gets crazier. And like every time I think, oh, this can't top this, like, this cannot top this, and it always does. So it's like, it's just so insane, this story. And, you know, I wish everyone the best in this situation. Don't send hate to anybody. You know, just spread positivity and love, because that's honestly what people need in these moments. But I'm just happy that everyone like kind of walked away with their life still, even though like Aiden Sanchez. I don't know how long he's getting. If you guys know, put it down in the comments. But yeah, the situation was just like very scary and unfortunate to happen to her, because like nobody deserves that. No matter how much like you don't like someone, like nobody deserves this. So, wish everyone well in this situation, and I'll see you in the next one.